Freddie, I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
What you excited about, honey?
I'm excited about God's commission for us to acquire this land behind us. You know, you guys, we never planned to have a recovery home here in Huntsville. We planned to semi-retire and just do a little here. But God had a different plan for us. He wanted us to open a recovery home. So we were obedient and we opened a recovery home. We rented a home right here in Huntsville.
But you know what, Freddie? We needed more land to park our vehicles, equipment, and all of this. And so one day I was just riding down Meridian Street and I saw this sign out there and I saw this house sitting way back on the was for sale. And I said, oh, that will be ideal for what we needed for. So we acquired and we purchased this home.
Right, and it's 3,800 square feet and 3.5 acres. So we've been running the recovery home, but you know, a lady came by here to see the home and we weren't here, and the guys were here, and she was just admiring the beautiful rock garden, how the house had been painted, and she told them that I grew up in this home. She left her phone number, the phone number of her mother, for us to contact them. And they both live in Denver, Colorado.
We called them and we found out that they owned all the land around this home. And we talked to them in Denver and we made arrangements to go and meet them. And we went to Denver and they fixed us a dynamite meal. And we sat and talked with them for about 4 hours, and she talked about, because all of this was one farm at one time that her family owned. But she loved this home, she loved this house.
And the house was built in 1907. And when we talked to them, they said they would talk to the family, and they wanted us to have the property because we wanted to help save souls. And she said that they would talk to the family and get back with us about a price. And that's when the Holy Spirit impressed us that He wanted us to acquire this land around the recovery home. So we came back to Huntsville excited again.
Excited again. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you something, Freddie. One day, I was driving down the street and I happened to see this guy that was sitting on the curb. And it was early in the morning and it was cold. And he had a hood over his head, and I just thought to myself, he was depressed, he was homeless, like he didn't have any hope, there was no one to love him, and there was a little bottle sitting up under there. I don't know what it was, but these are the people that we want to go out in the community and rescue. And introduce Jesus Christ to them.
Right. Our primary goal is we want to help save souls, and we also want to be of service to our community. Now, honey, what do the neighbors and the community say about DAP?
Well, let's look and see what the neighbors have to say.
I think from a standpoint of DAP, first of all, I would say it's a Christian organization, and they believe in the Word of God. Secondly, they are very professional in what they do, and they get that guidance from Cliff. If you give them a job to do, they approach the job with a joy, a smile on their face, and they do incredible work. They are nothing but professionals, and I think that comes from Cliff and Freddie and what they do. I have read about some of their programs in the past, and apparently they've been quite successful. Not always, because this is a tough world we live in, and they're dealing with a tough issue. But I admire them for them. I think the world of them. I love both of them to death.
I had a nephew who, not from around here, but who got into drugs when he was a teen, and he could never get off that. But if he had had a program like this, I think he would have made it. And that's sad if there's not enough programs around for people to take advantage of. One thing that has drawn me to help support the program, because it is Christian and they make no bones about that. You know, it's out there, and I just am really impressed with that. It makes me feel so good that I can help them some. And you know, we get so many mailings that are asking for money, and I have to pick and choose. So that's one that I have chosen to support, and I think it's just a tremendous job that they're doing, and for people to be so willing to give of themselves and their time, it's just miraculous to me.
DAP is an excellent program. It's one that makes a home for folks that have been involved in drugs. It gives them an opportunity to work as a team with other folks. It provides like a church setting where they can fellowship together and pray together, and where they can determine what's next in their life and how they can make that next giant step with encouragement from Cliff, the community, and other folks that they become involved with. Cliff, along with the Homeowners Association, is considering an expansion of the Drug Alternative Program home and property, and it's really piqued my interest in seeing how can we help Cliff accomplish this.
They got a whole neighborhood here, 127 homes, that thinks DAP is wonderful, and I'm certainly among that group. But it isn't just the ministry; it's Cliff and Freddie. I don't know how they're going to pass that off to the next generation, but this ministry, we're talking about changing lives. Freddie and Cliff, you have a wonderful, spirit-filled ministry here, and you guys are my heroes for the way you've done this for so many years, and I have no idea how many men you have rescued, but I imagine it's a lot. But the real thing is, even a few changes everything, for them anyway, and certainly for us, because we get to see it happen. And that's a witness to our neighborhood as well. They know this is a Christian organization. Not everybody in our neighborhood is a Christian. In fact, quite a few aren't. But it sure is nice to have them see a Christian ministry in action that they know well enough to know it's all real, and they're not looking at the media reports about it. They can see it for themselves. It's awesome. So Sue and I pray for you, and we want to encourage you in every aspect of this ministry, and we thank you for doing it. I know the good Lord was going to say, "Well done, good and faithful servants."
Wow, those were some very kind
Yes,
words.
they were.
Now let's see what the clients have to say.
I was addicted to crack cocaine for 10 years. I was addicted to alcohol. What DAP means to me is hope. It gives me hope that I can turn my life around, you know, because before, it was times where I wanted to end my life, you know, and I didn't think I would ever get off drugs. And this is the longest I've been here, almost a month. This has been the longest I've been without alcohol and drugs in a long time. Mr. Harris, y'all have been, how can I put it? I can't describe the love that y'all show me. It's not too many people who care for people like you all do, and it's kind of amazing to know that people care about complete strangers, and that y'all love me, and that it's in y'all heart to help people, and I can see that. And y'all been a blessing to me, as well as the guys here at DAP, and I want to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart.
You know, my life was falling apart. I was living in my car, I was using drugs daily, I was selling drugs, I was catching charges, piling up charges. I was well on my way to prison, and my mother had been going to church with Miss Shattuck, and Miss Shattuck's husband, Mr. Shattuck, is part of the program here. And my mom told me about the program, and at first I refused, but as things progressed, God kind of took away all other avenues for me to go. I wanted to go do something easy, you know, just something, let me do something easy and get back out to what I was doing, you know, but God, that wasn't God's plan for me, you know, and He removed all those easy avenues and led me here to DAP. I was out on the streets, living in my car, doing drugs every day, and there's a certain type of people that you associate with and deal with on a daily basis, and here it's just completely different, you know. Out on the streets, nobody cares about you, they care about themselves and what they can get out of you, but here, people care about you. You know, that was the first thing that really struck me, was Mr. and Mrs. Harris and the love they had for each client here. The personal touch of this program is what stuck out to me when I first got here. I'm very happy with the growth that I've seen in my life, the changes that I've seen in my life. I'm happy with the direction that my life is going, and I want to continue along that path, you know, and I know that if I stick to the things that I've been doing while I'm here, that I will continue along that path, you know, and there's an old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know. It's something that's working for me, you know, and I don't see any reason to change it, and I just want to continue growing, and I think this is the best place to be to do it.
You know, we have a purpose for this land, and one of the purposes is that we want to develop this land for the purpose of having another home, recovery home for these men, because we need more space for them. And number two, we need a transition home for the graduates. When these men leave the program, they need a place to go. They don't want to go back to the same neighborhood, honey.
Now, you know why some of you might wonder what would be the purpose of a transition home. See, we had a transition home in California. Now, when they complete the program, do we just say, okay, you leave and you go out in the street? No, we don't want to do that. That puts more pressure on that person. So we want to help them to create a job. They'll still have some place to stay. They can start paying a little rent, of getting back into the life of living a productive life in the community.
Right. You know, we have one of our graduates that went to Loma Linda University for 4 years while he stayed in the transition home and received a degree as a registered nurse. So he now lives in Louisville, Kentucky as a registered nurse. You know,
blessings, Freddie.
You know, and we also want this property to be developed for industries. So these guys can learn trades and be able to be self-sufficient and have an impact on this community. That's our purpose. I am excited, and I want you to be excited with me, because God has given us an opportunity to secure this land, and we need you to be land partners with us to purchase this property and develop this land for a transition home, for another recovery home, for industry for these men. We're excited that you're willing to be a land partner with us, and here's how you can do it.
Become a DAP land partner by going to your place of prayer and sincerely asking God how much you should give to this divinely inspired project. Then give whatever God lays upon your heart, whether it's a little or a lot. Your financial gifts will not only make a difference for DAP, but they'll make a difference for men who are committed to turning their lives around. You can give online through PayPal or by debit or credit card. Go to drugalternativeprogram.org. Click the donate link and the donate button. Or send your check or money order to Drug Alternative Program, P.O. Box 149, Moreno Valley, California, 92556-0149. All donations are tax deductible. Become a DAP Land Partner today. Your earthly investment will reap a heavenly reward.
We want you to be land partners with us. Please pray and ask the Lord to impress upon you what resources you can give to bring our vision into a reality. We need you.
Well, I think this whole community and as an individual, we should support this program to foster this environment to help these young men get back on a path to meet their objectives, and do it in such a way that's in a Christian fellowship, do it in such a way that it's a home to them, and do it in such a way that it's a team for them.
Any money that we spend on this ministry, we know it's doing good. It is changing the lives of these guys. I would love to see this ministry grow, and I'd like to, it'd be great if they could find some sold out to Jesus people like they are, that catch the vision and continue it on and make it bigger. And I just can't say enough about how impressed I am with this ministry.